All right, guys, I hope you're ready for this low light challenge on the Canon EOS R8. I got the 35mm 1.8 on there. And right now, just so you know, my settings, 1/50 shutter speed, 1.8 aperture, the Canon 35mm 1.8, 320 ISO. I just have a little light shining against the wall, bouncing back at me, and one little one on the right-hand side. But I want to do a low light challenge. I want to turn the lights down really low, get the ISOs up, and see what we can do. See if we can massage it to make it look good, what we need to do. Because I'm about ease of use. I want to be able to just put this thing on, set it relatively quickly, shoot, and not have to fiddle diddle. All right, guys, I'm on the neutral. Guys, I'm on the neutral profile. I turned off the right light. I just have one little light. It's that big. It's like a $30 light on Amazon, and it's just shining against the wall coming back at me. That's all I've got. But at the 1.8 aperture is what's giving me the light. You know, if I had like the kit lens, obviously it'd be way darker and I have to raise my ISO. But just with one little light on, and that's all I've got on, and it's completely dark around me, 400 ISO, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that light down really low, and I'm going to start increasing the ISO, and to see where it gradually goes to the point where it's not going to be really usable to the point where we want to use it. All right, guys, same settings with the 1/50 shutter speed, 24 frames per second, 4K, 1.8 aperture. Always going to leave that the same, just so you know, just so we can set the standard for that. Now we're at 1000 ISO. I turned my little light down to 30%. I mean, that's all the light I have in this room. I'm actually surprised little ISO is needed for the 30% light on this little light, and that's just bouncing against the wall. It's not even directly on me. So there you go. It's 1000 ISO. So let's crank this up. All right, guys, I got my little light on 5%. 5%. That's all the light I have coming out of this little light. I'm at 2500 ISO, and it looks pretty good. Now, what I've been doing is I just click on the ISO, and when I see the zebras, if you turn your zebras on, you just click it back one to where the zebras disappear, so it's like not zebraing all over your face. And then that's it. That's where I leave it. So that's 3200 ISO right now. So I'm not sure how this is going to look like on the big screen, but on my screen it looks okay. But I got the light turned down to 5%. I'm going to go ahead and turn it lower and just go down low light as I can here. All right, guys, I got my little light down to 1% bouncing against the wall. If this is still usable, that's pretty amazing. I've got almost no light in here. Like, you don't even need if this looks good, you put it on neutral profile. I don't know. You be the judge. Take a look at it. 6400 ISO. All the things are the same. 6400 ISO. Literally, if I click it one more off, check this out. I will click it one more off. There is zero light in this room. That's it. That's 1%. So I am in complete darkness. I'm going to crank up my ISO to ridiculous amounts. I've got nothing. It's completely dark in this room. That's what I'm saying. All you need is just something for light. I mean, 1%. Boom. Look at that issue here. There it goes. Had to catch myself. Okay, so what I did is I went to ISO up. I clicked it back. Boom. Exposure should be good. Now, the autofocus works for the most part. It's working great. It's just when you go crazy ISO back and forth, it kind of lost me. But that's 1% on that light. 1%. 6400 ISO right now. Now we're going to do a cell phone test. And that's all the light I'm going to have is just the cell phone light on me. Just so you can, because most of us have a cell phone, obviously. So as far as the lighting situation goes, I'm just going to turn the flashlight on the cell phone on and flash that on me, and that's all the light I'm going to have. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, as you can see, I'm in complete darkness. No light, all right? All I've got on the flashlight is my cell phone. Like, literally, this is all I have. All the light. I'm just bouncing against the wall. Check that out. I'm bouncing against the wall behind me, and that's all the light I have in this room. Don't tell me if you have this camera that you can't shoot in low light, that you can't make this camera work in low light. Like, if you have a phone for a light, it'll work. All right, I'm going to shine it on me. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Way overexposed. That's just That's just the flashlight, guys, on my phone. So let me crank this ISO down here because that's ridiculous. I mean, that's amazing. Like, we're literally, there you go. Okay, so now I have 640 ISO. 640 ISO on the Canon EOS R8. Look at the backgrounds. That's pretty sweet, huh? It's pretty black. Just got my little computer thing you can see back there. That's all there is. But look at that. This is the light from my flashlight on my phone. That's it. Now I'm going to turn my flashlight the other way and flash it against the wall behind me. Okay, so there you go. Let's crank that up ISO wise now. We're going to have to get up there again. Okay, so I go up. Whoops, saw the zebras. Click it back. Boom. That looks pretty good from what I can see. That looks pretty good from what I can see. I'm just using the light on my phone, the flashlight in the back, bouncing it against the wall. It's bouncing back at me. I'm at 6400 ISO. I mean, what do you think, guys? How does that look? Is that going to work for you? If it doesn't, I think there's problems. But I'm pretty impressed. If that ISO works at 6400 on the neutral color profile, straight out of the camera, and you just tweak it a little bit if you want, man, I'm good with that. That's awesome. I mean, that's impressive, guys. But I don't know. I haven't looked at the photo. I haven't looked at it yet. So, guys, this is a 4K 60, 1/25th of second shutter speed, f1.8 on the Canon EOS R8, 35 millimeter. Just wanted to give you an idea of what that looked like. I can run this in slow-mo for a second. See what you think. Huh? What? I think it's kind of cool to shoot in this mode. I like 4K 60. It's uncropped, which is nice. And you're generally not going to shoot 4K 60 the whole time. And if you do, then you're probably going to want a different camera. If you're going to run it for hours and hours at a time at 4K 60, then you're going to have to move to something else. The ZV E1's not going to do that either. You're going to have to move into something like the FX30 or the FX3, which is way more expensive. But FX30 will do it. It's got a fan. But again, that's already a crop sensor. So, there you go. All right, guys, I had an idea. I wanted to run the low light test on full HD 1080p as well, just to see if there's a difference in the low light capability, if it changes the low light of it all. You know what I mean? I mean, it's going to be a little bit lower quality because it's not 4K, but the 1080p in this camera is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same test with 1080p so you can see what that looks like on the Canon EOS R8, same settings. I'm doing 30 frames per second, 1/60 shutter speed. I'm at 400 ISO right now. And I'm going to go ahead and do these tests, same tests I just did, so you can get a look and see if 1080p changes it as far as the noise levels or anything like that. Probably not. I don't know. But I've never seen anyone else do it. So let's check that out. Let's see what it looks like when we do a low light test on the 1080p. All right, guys, I wanted to run this test now at 5% key light with 1080p so we can get an idea of how this looks like versus the 4K, because I've never seen anyone do it. I've never seen them do a 4K comparison with the 1080p with a low light, just to see if it makes a difference. I don't know. Let's check it out. So we're at 3200 ISO. I got the little key light down to 5%. 5% with 3200 ISO on 1080p. That's wild. That's really wild. But so far on this camera, it looks good. I'm in the neutral color profile still. All the settings are pretty much the same. So I'm going to kick this thing down to 1%. That's really low light. Kick up my ISO here. Wow. All right, guys, 6400 ISO on the EOS R8 right now. And we got the key light down to 1%. That's it, 1%. That's all the light in this room. This is 1%. That's 0. 1%. That's 1%. 2%, guys. All right. All right, guys, now we're going to run the same test 1080p with just the phone camera again. Now we're only at 6400 ISO, guys. Look at that. That's okay. I'm taking the camera flashlight. I'm bouncing against the wall behind me. 6400 ISO. Let's kick it up. Let's kick it up. Let's go up. Yeah, let's do that. 10,000. 10,000 ISO, guys. 1080p. What do you think? We're at 1.8 aperture. This is just the flashlight. See, watch. Cover it up. Boom. No light. That's all I got, guys. Just the flashlight. All right, so I got that bouncing off the wall behind in front of me and bouncing off the wall back onto me. That's all I've got. So I'm actually, it shows a little overexposed on here. That's probably a little better right there. I mean, 8,000 ISO. Like, wow, that's just my phone, guys. And if I put it on me, I'm way overexposed. That's, that's putting the light on me. That's way, way overexposed. I would have to drop my ISO. So, wow. I mean, the light capabilities, the light is pretty good. So we'll see how much noise is in the video. But what do you think, guys? I mean, this is what it's all about right here. Putting this thing to the test. No, it's 1080p, but a lot of people are still shooting 1080p. I figured, why not? All right, guys, back down to 320 ISO. Just the small lights on here. That's all I got. I mean, I got to be honest with you. That's why I like the full frame cameras. I like the APS-C. Don't get me wrong. And I want to get the newest Sony one that comes out when it comes out. If it's good. If it, fits in my workflow. But, man, it's just something about a full frame. It just gets that extra light in. So if you're going to shoot with low light, it's a good way to go. It really is. Will it work for your needs? I mean, I'm talking about if you could just use a flashlight on your phone for lighting and it still works for you. If that, high ISO was working good for you still and it looks fine on YouTube, I mean, for most people, that's great. I mean, for me, that's all I need. I'm not a professional videographer that, has to have like extreme, like large format or, crazy amounts of low light. I mean, if I've got this with me, I've got enough light, I'm good. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. But, and as far as other cameras go, I mean, almost all the large company cameras, they're all good nowadays. You know what I mean? It doesn't, I'm not trying to bash any of them. I got Sony and Canon. Now I want to try Fuji. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be interesting. But, the XS20 looks to be coming out, probably in a month or two. That'd be interesting. Another Sony camera coming up next week. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. I love it. This is what I enjoy. Just wanted to get this video up so you guys could see some low light situations on this. Well, guys, that concludes your test. This is my flashlight just under the desk. Just giving, your little eerie see you guys later kind of thing. My goodness, that looks awesome. Gotta love it. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, guys. Leave your comments below. If you want to see any videos, let me know. Thanks.